Welcome guys, episode 11, Cotton and Kanthal, Daddy Shark. How you doing, man?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So we've been told we've got to be a bit more organised and structured with our show. You've got your bit of paper here, nice, good stuff. So let's start with, what are the topics today?
So we've got 3 topics to talk about today. We've got a flavour ban in New York. We've got the Foundation for a Smoke-Free World, sent a letter to the WHO, World Health Organization. And then we've got a looking very much like price fixing with Innokin and Fire.
Scandal.
Absolute jokers.
Absolute scandal. Okay, let's go on. Let's dive into the first one.
Cool. So first one is this flavour ban in New York. So the governor, who his name is, it's a normal name.
Arnie Schwarzenegger. That's California, wasn't it?
Governor Andrew
Cuomo.
Yeah.
Perry Cuomo.
Yeah. So this guy is he's trying to put a ban on, like a statewide ban on flavouring in e-cigarettes, in their liquids, because he wants people to. He thinks it's a gateway drug, something that's going to get people into smoking, and it's like targeting children. So he wants to just get rid of flavours.
Is he Democrat, Republican?
He is one of them. He's definitely one of them.
He's definitely one of them.
And I will come back to you on that one. But yeah,
because they're quite nanny, aren't they?
Sounds it. But yeah, he wants to get rid of that. But this guy's he's a bit of a hypocrite. He was very much against the whole cannabis being legalised, and now he's putting forward that he wants it legalised now in the 2019 budget. So he's just completely changed his mind. So hypocrite's a bit of a harsh word. Maybe he's just had a look at the evidence and
realised he's going to win some more votes that way,
probably.
Get some more revenue in.
Yeah.
It's got to have been a big boon. I know there's been some talk that since they've legalised cannabis in certain states in America, there's been some higher instance of something. I don't know whether or not it's... I really should have known this fact. There's been some negatives of it as well. It hasn't all been positive.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to generate revenue. And I mean, like Colorado, for example, must have had a massive tourism boost. I mean, it's somewhere that I quite want to go because I want to see what it's like there.
Definitely.
I wouldn't necessarily put it as my go-to destination in America. Like, I can't wait to go to America. I'm going to hit Colorado.
Gonna look at the hills.
Going to spend a bit of time in the Rockies. Go to the South Park Museum. That's in Colorado, isn't it?
Museum.
I definitely got a museum.
They got to, haven't they? Really.
They've got to have a South Park studio.
Is it a real town, South Park?
South Park, Colorado. I don't know. Where's Boulder, Colorado? What show's that? Boulder. What do we watch that's got
What's in Boulder?
This could be terrible TV for anyone watching.
I don't know.
What's in Boulder? I'm
not sure, but I know one of those statistics that people cite as like a reason why one of the negative impacts of cannabis legalisation. They're saying more people that are getting involved in road traffic accidents are under the influence of.
Oh, okay, that might be what I saw.
It's one of those things. You're like, well, yeah, but has the number of accidents gone up? No, it's just more people are now legally allowed to smoke it, so it's in their system.
You think as well is drug tests by the roadside weren't as effective 5, 6, 7 years ago.
True, very true.
So they go, the number of people caught under the influence of drugs has gone up. Yeah, of course it's gone up. Yeah. Of course it's gone. You had no metric before. I'm not going to get in a really dodgy water by talking about another incident of crime, but I'm really struggling to talk about it. My lip keeps sticking to my brace. It's so dry. Such a dry brace.
Dry braces.
Keep sticking to me. I keep licking my teeth. Kiss my teeth. But yeah, they didn't have a way to measure it. Now they've got a way to measure it. So who do you reckon? I mean, does he come up with this rule himself, or has he got a bunch of people going, no, this would appeal to the mums out there. Mumsnet, Mumsnet's your perfect demographic. We've got to engage the mum bots and get more votes from them. So let's talk about this, show that we're family friendly in that audience.
I'm sure he's one of those people like, I didn't inhale. I'm sure he's probably
I did inhale.
Yeah.
He's had a Juul. Yeah. He's had a cheeky Juul tonight. When he was at college, when he was on campus, he didn't inhale. Brilliant.
Sure, he's one of them fellas.
But
he's probably got someone in his ear telling him what to say.
It's interesting because America, which is normally one of the most liberal capitalist places, well, I suppose someone might go, actually, it's not that liberal, but free market economy.
Yeah.
And they are a no-go zone right now. I mean, I know we've been speaking to the guys at Doozy, and they've got a close relationship with Myle, who are second only to Juul in America. And they're pulling out of America. Well, even on the website it says we no longer stock in America. It's like, everyone's taking part in the withdrawal technique.
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
It's really bad. It's really bad, and especially when you think of because before you had the one like the San Francisco ban on flavours, and then it's looking like there's going to be a California ban on flavours, and that's where all of the big US vape brands are coming out of it. Is California. So are they allowed to make it there?
And how's that?
Allowed to sell it? It's weird, isn't it?
And how does that affect other brands selling into America? So how does it work if I don't know if you come across it, but got the Cotton and Kanthal line. If someone wants to buy that in America, if we want to promote it to American online customers,
yeah,
how does that work? International, cross-border? Are we bound by certain federal rules if someone from Florida buys from London? Or
I'm not sure. Would it fall on the importer? Would they have to deal with that? They've got to make sure that they're not falling foul of their.
But what about B2C? If you're a customer and you want to buy, say Cotton and Kanthal, not to plug it too much, but it's like the rules on 2 mil tanks. There's no one right now who is stopping fast tech orders coming into the UK and going.
No, definitely not.
This is definitely. I'm just gonna. They've got. I can imagine. This is how I imagine in my head. This is how I imagine that the trading standards want you to imagine it is. They've got a vape tester station at the border, at the customs HMRC office, with all different iterations. They've got the old Nautilus tank, the maxi tank there, and they just compare it against. Or they get the glass, they screw it into the UL crown, fill it up, and they go, it's 2 mil. It's fine. Give it a little clean.
Little specimen one.
Change the coil over for someone. Get the new one primed. Pop it back in there. I don't know how are they. I guess the rule probably is they're not going to check.
No, you probably get away with it.
So who does that harm? That harms the Americans who are in. That harms the American brands who can't necessarily sell
to their own market all the while.
But how does it mean that then you've got the cross-border sales? I suppose they're all bound by statewide and federal rule, haven't they? So if you have a statewide ban, could someone in Colorado or someone in San Francisco order from a Floridian? I think is the technical term.
Yeah.
Gee, I don't know that many states in America. I've referred to Colorado and Florida. Could they buy cross-state?
Well, I assume so, but then you had that thing in Australia where there was one of the territories out there was going to.
There's only one territory in Australia. That's Northern Territory, which is not a state. The rest of the states.
State. Yeah. One of the states had said, no, you can't have these products, and they were going to pursue even like the retailer, even if they were in a
different state.
Yeah, they were going to.
I guess in America that's probably what they will try and do. I just think how ineffective is it going to be?
It's a waste of time, isn't it? Because unless you're checking every single one.
Well, then how do you stop? Because this is what we talked about before, the reverse nick shop, the flavour shop.
Yeah.
So is there a rule on buying flavour concentrates?
No, definitely not.
So you could have a shop that sells flavour concentrates and a shop that sells unflavoured, nick-shotted.
Yeah, you could just have 50 mil, 3 milligram, and then a 10 mil concentrate.
So you just it's just either you make a big bottle of 2 mil. Is it under 2 mil under? You haven't got to hasn't got to be regulated in America, isn't it, or something? You can do because this is why American you see liquids of 2 milligrams. Sorry, not 2 mil. Pointless.
I've not seen any of these.
They do 2 milligram because I believe that anything below 2 milligram has the same sort of rules. I mean, there's different states to state, but I've seen a lot of samples come out of America given to me that 2 milligram, and I remember asking them. I said, "Why are they 2 milligram?" No, because they haven't got to be regulated. They haven't got to be signed off. They can be.
Right. Okay.
If you get 2 milligram under, it effectively falls under the. Look at America's calorie rules on their packaging. They'd always have, if it was under a certain amount, they could say trace. But that didn't mean it didn't have anything. It was calorie free. It wasn't calorie free. It was just under the threshold. So they can class under 2 milligram and under. It can be classed as trace.
Makes sense. So it gives them again like a completely unregulated market, almost like
you think like people come in for a nick shop to make something 3 milligram. If you went, look, sorry, it's going to be 2 milligram now. Would they bust a sweat? It might be annoying at first, but I guess it's a reduction of 33% on the nicotine levels you're having. But at that level, you're really looking more for your flavour, aren't you? Flavour and cloud and the habit. You're not really as much looking for the nicotine, but it's a force of habit to put the nicotine in. So I guess you could make a 2 milligram unflavoured, and then you sell a flavour shop. It's just stupid. It's a workaround ready to happen.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, fine.
Cool. So that's that one. And then next one is It's basically the guy from the.
I'm going to stop you here. I'm going to break
for
the third wall. Is it the fifth wall? Third wall? Billy, can I get a Diet Coke, please, mate? I'm trying to show the dynamic nature of our podcast.
Here we go.
Oh, give me a can.
That's perfect. That's
it's never as good in a can. Thank you very much. It's come off like imaginary.
Bit of product placement.
Yeah. All my stimulants are here.
Going to put it in another Vaping juice cup sort of.
No, it's all right. I'm not using the Vaping juice cup. It's fine. I think that's sufficient branding for the episode. Go on, sorry, what was number two? Mate?
So number 2 was Derek Yak, who is the president of the Foundation for a Smoke-Free World.
Hang on. He's the president
For the Foundation for a Smoke-Free World.
Is that like saying my sister's boyfriend's brother
cousin
has a cat that died because of smoking?
Exactly.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
But this guy is basically they're like a independent non-profit. And he's basically written a letter to the World Health Organization saying, look, we're trying to do the same thing. We both agree that smoking is bad, and we're trying to get people away from it. But the World Health Organization have not recommended countries look at the Foundation for a Smoke-Free World as a useful source of information or how they should.
Well, because they've got a terribly long name.
Yeah, and their acronym is just SFFW. It's not
Squared.
Yeah, it's not that good, is it? But yeah, he's basically just said, look, come on.
These are the kind of foundations you see in things like South Park, where they're like their acronym is ARSE FAG.
Is that Quango? I've always wanted to use that word, but I don't know if I'm using it right.
Qualified non-governmental organisation, or Quango acting as non-governmental organisation. What does Quango stand for? Yeah.
There we go, one of them.
You're going to Google this?
It's just
You're going to Google what Quango means, aren't you? I think we should find out what Quango means. Federation for the...
A semi-public administrative body outside the civil service but receiving financial support from the government, which makes senior appointments to it.
What does Quango mean? What does Qua mean?
I don't think it...
It must have a reason. It's got to be an abbreviation or something. Or a...
Okay, here we go.
Go on.
Origin. So it comes from the English word quasi.
Quasi non-governmental organisation. Booyah.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
So why is it quasi? So it's not quite one, but gets a bit of funding.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, semi-public.
Gets a semi.
Gets a semi.
So this guy's got a semi.
Gets funded.
He's got a semi, and what? So he's disappointed that they won't advocate his group.
Yeah. So basically, they're the World Health Organization is saying don't really listen to them. I don't know if they're not saying don't listen to him, or they're just not telling people to listen to him. So he's saying, well, look, we've got some really useful information that we can...
Got some pamphlets here.
Yeah, nice little PDF we can send to...
Are they promoting or advocating vaping in any way, shape or form?
Yes.
So they are so World Health Organization advocate vaping, they just don't advocate this guy's charity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's just like, please.
That's not news, Fred. That's just comedy.
But yeah, that's basically the top and bottom of it. So he's saying, look, we will...
There's a couple of these,
lots of things we can do to be helpful.
What's that? Is it Clear? Wasn't it the one you said recently?
Oh, yeah.
Because we've...
Peter Reynolds.
Yeah, because we went back and forth. So they've agreed. So radio have agreed now to advertise CBD. The radio. The
ratings.
The big radio. Big radio. Big radio have agreed. Big antenna. But they kept coming back to me with things, and you said, "Oh, that sounds exactly like the last blog post from Pete Reynolds."
Yeah, so they were saying it was no more than 1 milligram of THC per final packaged product of any CBD related product, which is not anything that I've seen in any kind of legislation or rules or anything. It's just something that come off of this blog on this Clear website.
And he was working. If you look at his blog, it's really kind of bitter in certain areas as well, where he kind of takes down people. Like, I used to work with the Cannabis Trade CTA, Cannabis Trade Association, and he's like, I'm working alongside them. We've got all this great work. We're going to be the next big body in this industry, and then about 3 blogs later, I'm no longer working with them because of some unpaid bills. It's like, how unprofessional are you guys?
Yeah.
You're unprofessional just to be doing that in your public, your charity, your organisation, and obviously they don't look like the smelling of roses, but I guess that's one of those kind of organisations, really.
Yeah, I don't think they have
unnecessary negative product placement.
Something to do.
Or Prenolds. But yeah, so they seem to look like they were taking his word as if it was the word of an organisation.
Yeah, when it was just a blog post.
Yeah,
really.
The guy's got a blog called Clear.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a thing.
That was a quasi. He had a semi. Yeah. He's still got a semi. Check him out. Is it clear.org.uk?
Yeah.
Clear.net.biz. Fine, okay, so...
.biz domain.
So on our sheet, it does say we've got to have some chatter.
Yes.
How you been?
I've been very well. Very good.
How are you? How have you been?
Yeah, I've been... What did I do most this weekend? Not a great deal. I watched my team get beaten twice in a week, so that's kind of made me feel a bit bitter.
Oh.
I'm a Spurs fan. I like football. The game of the round ball.
The Blues. The mighty Blues.
The mighty Blues, yeah. I'm trying to build a team on the FIFA for our Twitch channel.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I was going to do Spurs, and I thought that was just too obvious. So then I'll do Southend United, and I'm going to make them like the super team of the world.
Are they not in the game?
They are in the game, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think you have to add a plug-in or something, or they've got names. I've never heard of any of the players as well, which I think is quite funny. And you're just like, oh, it's Thompson to Merriweather to Pennyfarthing. There used to be a player called Glenn Pennyfarthing, played for Glenn Pennyfarthing played for Southend. I always thought it was just a classic name. You don't get names like that anymore. You like Suarez instead.
Is that a bike?
Pennyfarthing, yeah. That was why it was amusing, because his name was. That was amusing to me anyway.
It's a big misshapen bike.
Yeah, he was named after a bike. Yeah.
That's good.
Anyway, go on. Scandal.
Oh, okay, so a little while ago, Aspire, they completely changed the way all their pricing structures work. So they've, in a bid to get rid of Chinese resellers for a start, and then other companies undervaluing their products.
So is it Amazon, you say?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
No.
So it's literally not paying attention.
No, Aspire.
you know when you...
I was confused, like, what
You know
are you
when
talking about?
someone's talking to you and you're like, I'm just drinking my coffee, and I was licking my brace. So dry.
Strokes with a brace.
Sorry.
No, it's Aspire.
Aspire. So what was Aspire doing? Sorry.
So Aspire.
Listen. I'm sure everyone else watching the podcast was listening. I had no idea what was going on. Just staring through you. I wonder what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. I'm going to hit the gym. Sorry, so it's going to start again now.
Okay, so Aspire, so what they've done is to try and get rid of Chinese resellers and knocking out their products way cheaper than...
They're going to stop selling it to them for really cheap?
Well, yeah, this is basically what they've said. Is they've said they've set it up now that you only have like authorised resellers, and those authorised resellers now have to stick to a pricing structure. And apparently, anybody who's found undermining that pricing structure is cut off, binned, not allowed to buy those products anymore.
I don't know how you can enforce that.
No, and it doesn't work because this has been going on with Aspire for a couple of weeks now, and it's really not changed much. I think it's given some wholesalers the ability to rise their prices, and the base price rise has been about 14%.
So are we seeing that as well? And good. Just checking this mic. Christ, it's gone up there.
But no, that's what they're doing, and now Innokin have sort of followed suit as well.
Was it Heaven Gifts are the big ones, aren't they?
They're a big one, but then there's so many factories that produce these products in China that it doesn't take much for somebody to just grab hold of a batch of it and then just go, okay, well, we're just going to resell it.
Yeah.
Because over in China, like intellectual property is just not a thing. They don't,
IP.
Yeah.
They
really don't care about it. They don't have the same mindset. It's not like, oh, you've ripped that off. It's like the onus is on the responsibility. The onus is on the manufacturers to go, okay, well, you made something really cool, but you got to keep making new cool things. Otherwise, people are just going to copy what you've already made and make
As
it
if
better.
that's okay.
Yeah. I kind of get. When you see like what it does, it stops. It doesn't hinder like products getting better. Like you see, you know when the TFVA Baby came out,
Yeah.
and you saw these cores, and everyone was like, "Oh, these cores are really good." And then you saw like companies like Vaperun, and they made the NRG tank,
The GT cores and stuff.
Yeah, the cores, and they were better. And it's because they were just allowed, because they don't have that same philosophy of, oh, it's my idea.
So they don't have any patenting rules at all out there?
I think they do, and I think people do get upset in certain areas, but it's not to the same extent whatsoever.
I might have a website called Bally Arbor.
Yeah.
Bally Arbor.
Yeah.
So I don't get. So if Aspire, say for example, they make a product, say they make a cup, and they sell it to go, okay, you're going to be an authorised reseller.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sell this cup now to £1 to only authorised resellers. So I sell it to you for £1. What's stopping you in another country selling that to me for £1.10? And I go, I'm going to do it for £1.50. It'll still be cheaper.
Yeah,
and that's where it falls down.
Yeah.
How are they going to enforce that? Because they're going to want distribution as well. They're not going to. They've got to. At what point will they just be cutting their nose up to spite their face?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to stop people selling their products on Amazon and on eBay for like
dirt cheap.
Yeah, like a couple of percentage points above what the standard wholesale rate.
Well, let's say we were having a chat the other day. My thought is when for example, look at drop shipping as a good example. People go, I'm getting into my own business now. I'm doing drop shipping. Like, that's not a business. You're just becoming a distributor for a wholesaler until the point that the price becomes the wholesaler's price.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't care. He's got his wholesale price. You're buying it off him, and he's going to dispatch it. So you haven't got to have any stock hold. And you go, okay, well, I only make 20p per widget, but if I sell 1,000, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But someone else might go, well, do you know what? I've never had that 19p a widget. I'll just take 19p. And someone goes, oh. And eventually someone goes, well, look, if I sell 1 million of these, I don't mind making 2p a widget. And that's where it goes to. And it completely eliminates the middleman. It just goes straight from wholesale to end user.
It does, and I do have mixed feelings about it because I think this is when you do see these people selling products that we sell, and they're selling it cheaper because they're not paying for anything else. They're not paying for any other overheads. They're not paying for the staff. They're not paying for training. Not paying for anything. You do feel like it's not on. But then you think, and on the other half, you're sort of thinking, okay, well, if somebody can provide the same product for the same service for a cheaper price, should that be allowed? And does that just promote everybody into trying to be better? It's difficult, isn't it? Because you don't want to be like, you want to allow the sort of free market where you in your mind.
Well, the thing is they're not giving the same level of service.
No.
They're giving. But this is the thing: is there are a lot of shops, bricks and mortar shops. They don't give a level of service that is any better than an online website.
Yeah.
And that's an absolute. That's a rule to death, isn't it? Really, I saw someone use a phrase the other day: "Competition is for losers." You shouldn't be in competition. You will naturally. You might go, okay, well, yeah, but we are in competition. We're a vape shop. Someone else is a vape shop. Yeah, but you should be able to distinguish yourself from your competitor. That's the loose point of it. Is so. For example, we should go. No, hang on. We've got so many things that we offer in terms of added service value that we're not in competition. They are what they are. They are a one-man band. They are a chain that just do cheap, or they don't care about service, or don't care about staff training.
Definitely.
We do all these things. We're not in competition. We're a whole different ethos. But so I understand that. I think, but if you are a retailer and it creates jobs, it's good for. I suppose there's the ethical issue, isn't it? Is where do people go? I want things super cheap, but I also want people in work. I want taxes paid. I want hospitals and schools and teachers well paid and funded, and I want to have a cohesive community. And I think there's a danger if we completely automate the hell out of retail. But look at Apple. They're a bricks and mortar retailer. Forget that. They are. And when you go into an Apple shop, people go, "Oh, we went to Silicon Valley, didn't we?"
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
It's like a museum or a gallery. It's done so well, and they create an experience. And I think that's the thing. What's the first place we went to in Silicon Valley when we went shopping there? Apple shop, and then the Tesla shop, because again, they're both, and that's a bricks and mortar business as well. They're both experiences, so we wanted to go there and experience something. I think if you, in a retail bricks and mortar, if you continue to try and create an experience and go, hey, you know what? Yeah, look, you can buy something for £1 less online. And one of the old ones we used to look at was people weren't savvy enough when people go, it's £2 cheaper online. Yeah, but they're charging you postage. Yeah. So why don't you mention that at your till and go, hang on, look, and pitch around that and go, but we're also going to set it up for you. We're going to prime your coils. We're going to add the nick shot. We're going to make sure that when you come back in, everything works right for you. If it doesn't, you can return it easy by bringing it in 7 days a week. You haven't got to post it.
You haven't got to pay for that postage. You haven't got to get shirked around while they go, I'm changing it out. You haven't got to deal with any of that. Bring it in and change it over.
And making sure that service levels are strong, and I think if you don't do that and you just go, we sell that, there you go, and there's no charisma. There's
no reason for them to not go.
You're not beating expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
So they go. They haven't got a. I think Glenn in London used to talk about. You keep your barber generally. There's always that that sort of, you say loyalty of barbers. It's about trying to create a loyalty, and I think that's and barbers do, try and create a rapport and a relationship. And I think that's something that a lot of shops miss. So I think that is where a lot of shops aren't helping themselves, and they make people go, well, I might as well just buy it for cheap on there because I get nothing from my.
Yeah.
I go in there and they're vaping in my face. There's people sat at the doorway vaping. It's uncomfortable to come in there. I think that's a real tough one. So what? So they're colluding with Innokin, is what you're saying? So.
No, I think they've just seen what they've done and gone, okay, yep, sounds good. Well, Innokin have, Aspire were first to do it, and then Innokin have sort of followed suit. But yeah, it just, I don't like the fact that you can, it just doesn't sound right that a company can try and enforce what you do with a product after you've bought it. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, and I would say you get it in UK and they try and enforce it. What's the product? There's been products in the past. I think Joytech was a good example.
Yeah.
Was it the e-cig million name company? And they came around the shop. Yeah, they came around the shop with a piece of paper saying, "Oh no, this is an enforcement, cease and desist." And I thought, well, that's not cool for a start.
No.
We don't buy from you. And the rule and you don't own Joytech. Joytech is I think they might own the IP now, but at the time was the EU rule was providing you buy it from an EU supplier, it doesn't have to be from the UK. So this was, I think, maybe they got stitched up, or they didn't fully understand it, or they would just think, well this will be sufficient to con a few people, but get people to react in our way. Yeah. If you've ever got a supplier in the UK who goes, no, we're exclusive in the UK. Where'd you get your product from? You've got to tell us. You can't sell it with exclusive. Well, no, I bought it from someone else from the EU.
Yeah. Or in France.
Yeah. Who are they? Well, it doesn't matter. I haven't got to tell you that. The rule is providing a buy from an EU supplier. And that's what Levi's had, wasn't it? It was Tesco. Tesco had Levi's. They were initially buying, was it from somewhere in Asia or Turkey or somewhere that wasn't in the EU, and then they just changed it to buying it from a Polish supplier in the end, didn't they?
And that's still cheaper.
Yeah, Levi's couldn't do anything about it. It's like, well, that's... Yeah. You've had the benefit of the EU, you can't now then try and,
Yeah, that's it.
Topical.
Yeah.
Brexit.
I'm just what do you call it? I'm just conflicted with it because I agree that you don't want to just see it as a race to the bottom, but then I do struggle with that, enforcing what somebody can do. So after that,
and it was illegal, isn't it, to set? Was it? They used to have RRP in the UK, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you used to be able to say what someone could sell it for.
Yeah, it's recommended, isn't it? Recommended retail price. That's what we say. Everyone else is roughly going to be doing it at.
But generally, everyone just ignores it anyway, don't they?
Pretty much.
We got that CBD stuff I sent you earlier on, and they went, "Oh, this is," and I said, "Well, what kind of, what's in it for us as a retailer?" And they said, "Oh," I said, "These are the margins that we need to cover overheads and run it as a business." And they had these RRPs there. They were like, "Well, no one's going to sell it for that price because I don't see any CBD products being sold at that price." Well, I see them on shelves at that price, but they're not going to come off the shelves at that price. They'll just go back in a box and go back to you guys. So it's a tough one. I think, will it change how things are done in any way, shape or form? Because they can't enforce it.
No, it's difficult. It depends if, we've not been really hit with this pricing change at all. And I'm sure the people that they're concerned about, like some of those certain wholesalers in Manchester, likely they've probably not been affected either. And if that's where the problem is coming from, then it's not really, you've not changed anything. What you've done is just put price hikes on. Most likely it's going to be the smaller independents that are going to get worst hit by this, and they're the ones who are going to see their prices jump on hardware by 14%, which is roughly the average.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see more cooperation, I think, with some of the smaller entities to try and get better pricing, push it down. It's a shame there's not so many products aren't made in the UK or as any particular products. It's I think you always wonder when you talk about automation, if it's just a machine involved in the future. I wonder if we can start producing more things in the UK. Yeah, and a machine is a machine, isn't it? But
one of them.
We'll see. Yeah. Has it affected much? Have you seen it affect the retail price for these products being sold online?
No, not at all. I don't know whether that's because people are still holding on to old inventory, or those people that are selling it at cutthroat prices on Amazon and eBay, again, already buying it from those places that are most likely not affected at all either. From the general retail pricing, I'm not seeing any real drastic change whatsoever. So it does seem just completely ineffective. It's only hurting independence.
All right, sweet. Fine. Is that your last bit of news?
That's it. That's the lot.
Got a potential first sign up for Vaperun.
Nice.
Scotland.
That's cool. Really cool.
that's my work at the moment. Try and make the site SEO friendly, and yeah, that'd be pretty sweet if we can get that rolling out.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Okay. Well, that's the podcast. That's the Cotton and Kanthal Show, episode 11. If you've got any comments or any questions, stick them in the comments below. If you want to find out, I mentioned about Vaperun. If you want to find out about Vaperun, if you run a vape shop anywhere in the UK and you want to be able to benefit from customers that we're generating from Vaperun, we send the customers to you. We're not asking you to send your customers to us like one famous same-day platform in London. Give us a shout, drop us a comment here, or yell me, David at vapeandjuice.co.uk. We've got a platform, Vaperun, same-day delivery vape company. It leverages your local shop. You benefit from the customers we create. We send them to you to fulfill them, basically deliver a vaping. And that's Vaperun. Check them out at vaperun.com. Otherwise, thanks for watching, subscribe, and see you next week.